Alright, so Agit Kabayel in 6 rounds, and could have done it earlier probably, stops Zhilei Zhang, stops him. Doesn't win on points, stops Zhilei Zhang. He's the first man to stop Zhilei Zhang. Hrgovic couldn't do it, Parker couldn't do it, Agit Kabayel, dark horse in the truest sense of the word. A fighter who he went under the radar for years. I mean, I certainly was kind of overlooking him many a time throughout the course of his career. He had that win over Chisora in 2017, the back end of that year. Wasn't a great fight, to say the least. He went into the wilderness then. He re-emerged to fight Arslanbek Makhmudov, and Makhmudov proved to be not so good. He fought Frank Sanchez, who was clearly injured. So you're kind of looking at that thinking, how, like, in the context of things, how good really is Agit Kabayel? Well, he goes in here against a fully fit, fully ready Zhilei Zhang, and he goes in there and he trades with him, stands toe to toe with him, and then stops him. Actually, climbs up off the deck to stop him. Crazy. The first round, let's talk about this fight. So the first round, Zhilei Zhang came out strong. He came out very aggressive. He actually looked to have, his foot speed looked a little bit quicker than it normally has. And bear in mind, he's in his early 40s, so how quick can you expect him to be? But he looked quite good in the first round. He let his shots go together very well. He appeared to stun Agit Kabayel midway through the first round, but again, nothing major. He didn't really follow up, but he was very aggressive in the first round. It was clear to see. Kabayel in that first round, I think he just kind of got the lay of the land, saw what he was dealing with. The second round was when he really started opening up to the body. He started bringing the uppercut into play, and he was getting through. He was able to land on Zhilei Zhang. He was able to hit him with the body. He was able to hit him to the head. Primarily, he was focusing his attack on the body, and I suspect the reason why is because he's been doing that lately in his fights, where he's been going to the body. He's been having good success, but as well as that, with Zhilei Zhang, you're dealing with a fighter who has poor stamina. It's known. He may be the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division. He may have the biggest, well, I say punch, not even single punch. He may be the biggest puncher with both hands in the heavyweight division. But on the contrast, he has arguably of the top heavyweights, like top 10, top 15, he is the worst by far. It's not even close. He's the worst. Worst in terms of stamina. So you go and you invest in the body early, you are going to take the wind right out of his sails. Like that. And that's what Kabayel was doing. And as the fight was going, Kabayel showed a really good chin because he did take some shots from Zhilei Zhang in there. And again, this is a guy who has knocked people down with fairly innocuous looking shots. They haven't looked like they've had, any great steam behind them. And he's been able to drop guys like that. So he showed a good chin. He was willing to stay in the pocket. I thought he'd be very negative. I really did. I thought he'd be a little bit negative. He'd fight the fight kind of at a pace that Zhang wanted, and that Zhang would be able to get to him, but he didn't do that. He actually fought it at a pace that Zhang didn't want. He stayed with him. He traded with him. He stayed in the pocket, which I was really surprised at. And come the fifth round, you were kind of looking at this thinking, oh, Kabayel stoppage is on the cards. It's going to happen. He then gets caught with, I think it was a right hook from Zhilei Zhang. He gets put down. Look, Zhilei Zhang is a tremendous puncher. He was able to put him down. It didn't matter, because Kabayel got back up. He was able to see out the round. Not only was he able to see out the round, he was actually able to give as good as he got for the remainder of the round. If the knockdown hadn't happened, you would have given the round to Agit Kabayel, no question. So he was able to see out that round. And then in round 6, it appeared to me as though Zhang was going to take a count, because he was hit to the body. He was hit with a combination to the body. It didn't look low. The referee got in between them, and I was thinking, because Zhang reacted like, oh, I'm really hurt. And I kind of thought, oh, is he going to give a count? And he didn't do anything. It was bizarre. He didn't rule a knock, or he didn't rule a low blow. He didn't give him a count. He didn't do anything. So I was kind of like, okay. And then anyway, Kabayel followed up. He landed a combination to the body. Zhang went down, went to a knee, sat the count out. That was it. So Agit Kabayel, interim WBC champion. He is now mandatory for Alexander Usyk. Not the mandatory you'd want to be with. The WBC are very bad for calling mandatories, so he could be waiting a while, but credit to him. I mean, again, Makhmudov, how good really was he? Fair enough. Slow as molasses, easy to hit, big punch but nothing else. Frank Sanchez, clearly injured. But yeah, I guess you could say Zhang 40, 41, so not at his peak, but nevertheless, no issues like that. And he went in there and he did the job. So nothing you can say but great job. So credit to Kabayel. This card's been so far so good. I missed most of the Callum Smith Joshua Boati fight because I was at a christening, so I only got home kind of in the 10th round of that fight. So I'm going to do a review of that maybe at a later time. But yeah, mega card so far. Literally, we've got Ortiz versus Madrimov getting ready to take place now. I'll be going live at 9 p.m. So I hope to see you guys there, and I'll probably talk to you after this fight. So for now, I'll leave it there. Peace.